I'm Mash Bonigala, brand strategist. In today's Battle of the Brands, we're looking at Apple TV Plus, Disney Plus, Netflix, and Amazon Prime. Yeah, there are lots and lots of other streaming services, but I thought I should limit it to about 4 brands, right? In the Battle of the Brands, we take 2, 3, or 4 brands in any given sector. And we then take a look at how they're doing relative to each other in terms of branding, in terms of appeal, in terms of effectiveness, marketing, campaigns, and so on and so forth, and see which of them is probably having the bigger mind share or market share. Well, market share is not really something that I am interested in. I'm more interested in it from a branding perspective or brand building perspective. Okay, so streaming wars. It's a very hot topic, and lots of people have written articles, made videos. So I'm not really going to talk about, the state of streaming in terms of what each of the channels or each of the providers, each of the brands within that sector is doing in terms of pricing or in terms of features, but I will look at them from a brand perspective. All right, so let's jump straight in. Let's start looking at Disney Plus. And yeah, so this is the first one I chose because I really love the branding in terms of how Disney Plus has created the streaming service. Now, of course, we're looking at it on the desktop, but even on the TV, the app on the TV, it's smooth. The interface is fantastic. I prefer Disney Plus from, let's say, Apple TV or Netflix or Amazon Prime. But let's just talk about Disney Plus for a second. Right off the bat, you can see that Disney Plus has this really nice, clean interface. And on the top here, of course, you have the featured movies. And you can see, for example, Rise of Skywalker, Dog's Life, Clone Wars, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and so on and so forth. And of course, Mandalorian, right? And then below that, all the different channels within Disney Plus. And I like this interface where, there's a bit of kind of brand identity of each of those channels being shown here. And below that, of course, you've got recommendations, new to Disney Plus, continue watching. Well, I finished Mandalorian, but it still says continue. Because you watched Mandalorian, all the Star Wars related content, you got the collections, hit movies, originals, trending, and so on. But although there's a lot of content, the layout, the design is smooth, it's very intuitive, and it's easy to navigate. It's not overwhelming, even though it's rows and rows of like any other streaming service, right? The one little gripe that I have is that Disney Plus itself, the branding itself, or the brand identity, the logo, and then a consistent kind of theme is lacking. Okay, so when I get to Netflix, I'll talk more about what I mean, but that's one thing that I see is lacking from Disney Plus. And of course, if you click on, I don't know, Marvel, right, beautiful, beautiful layout on the top. You've got the Marvel logo and some of these characters from the MCU. And then, of course, a similar layout. So, yes, I would have probably preferred a little bit more color coding, a little bit more distinction between the channels. Because right now, if I go up, of course, you would know based on the movies. But I'm speaking purely from a design perspective, right? I would have preferred this to have a bit more of a difference. For example, if we go back and then click on Pixar, right? See what I mean? So I guess you don't really need it, but it's just a small gripe. All right, let's go to Apple TV. Apple TV Plus it's really good in terms of the content. I like some of the content. So on the top, of course, you have the layout of Apple TV is different, which I think it's good, but that's also because they don't have that much content, I suppose. You can argue compared to Disney Plus or Netflix, right? So each of the shows has a kind of a horizontal format and you're scrolling, maybe I've missed it, but maybe there is a grid. You can choose a grid format. But as you can see, yeah, it goes on and on and on. And yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't see any way to get a grid format. So I don't know. Let's go to one of these shows. Defending Jacob, a fantastic show. I love it. It's really well done. And okay, so each of the shows now, of course, has a dedicated. Now I like this part though. You got all the episodes of a season. You got the trailers. You got bonus content, and then you have more from Apple TV Plus, and you know all that. So yeah, the homepage I'm not really a big fan of, but the inner pages, yeah. Okay, let's go to Netflix now. Netflix, I have a huge issue with Netflix, especially when you're watching it on TV. This autoplay of whatever you're browsing with loud volume, that really puts me off. I don't know, there's a sense of urgency. There's a sense of, you feel hurried. You feel maybe a little bit overwhelmed. I don't want to see each of those, like, yeah, if for example, I'm looking at this, right? Now, on the desktop, it just sort of, let's see, if I do this. Yes.
Officers, alert.
Yeah. As you can see, it is playing here too. So it's not really just on the TV, but also here. It's probably not that bad here because you can just simply take off the volume and you're okay. But on the TV, I hate that feature. It's one of my, yeah, I don't like. But what I like about Netflix is the continuity or the consistency of the branding, unlike Disney Plus. For example, Netflix, you got the logo on the top left-hand corner, and then you got the red color, almost like, you know, you got new episode weekly, and then of course their N logo, the red here, yeah, this, and then you got N series. There is a, there, man, I hate that music. It's just started off. And top 10 in the US today, you got really, yeah, omnious TV programs, exciting TV programs. Okay, so it's similar to Disney Plus, or rather Disney Plus is similar to this, but I find Disney Plus to be a little bit more elegant, right? It's probably the shape, and it's got that, maybe the shadow, the depth, so it's giving the depth, and the spacing between these and the rounded corners. This one seems a little bit more overwhelming because there's less gap between each of these. And then of course, each of them starts playing. Let's see what happens here on Disney Plus. Very subtle, very subtle. And I think that actually Disney Plus has taken this from Apple TV. This actually looks a little like Apple TV, but much improved, right? So let's go back to Netflix. Yeah, there's so much, there's too much going on here. I like this one, the originals, where they sort of have this kind of vertical, and then, yeah, that looks good, but yeah, there's too much content. I like the red bit, the consistency, but yeah, too much content. Okay. So Amazon Prime is, again, just like Netflix, and it's a hodgepodge. I don't know about the branding element because I don't see any orange, the Amazon orange anywhere. Oh, yeah, here a little bit with the stars. And that's about it. So Prime is actually branded more than Amazon. And again, this one and this one, they probably look similar, maybe. I don't know. Okay, Apple TV, especially on the desktop, is out of the running. But let's just go. Yeah. So we take Disney Plus, then we go to Netflix, which is, oh, man, it's too much going on, and then you have Amazon, which is, again, this looks like Netflix, right? So, right. It's not really a fair comparison because all streaming channels have a similar kind of layout. And yeah, they are trying to get you to sort of stay and watch as much as you can. So I don't really blame, the channels for taking a similar approach. But like I said, I love the way, Disney Plus has really kind of taken the design, very intuitive, very clean, very nice. Apple TV, unfortunately, on the TV, it looks really nice. On the desktop, I could not get it to show the grid. Netflix, I don't like it on TV, and I don't like it on desktop. I'm not really talking about content here, right? Because there are other videos that talk about content. I'm just purely talking about it from kind of a brand perspective, and also a customer satisfaction kind of perspective when you're looking at it, right? The UI, the user interface, the user UX, the user experience, and so on and so forth. I know it's a very kind of a rough comparison. I just showed you the screens. What do you think? What do you guys think? Do you think that my assessment is correct? What do you think, right? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like the battle of brand wars, right? So it's a battle of the brands kind of a thing. Maybe I should do those more. Yeah. Let me know in the comments, and then we'll see you in the next video. Take care.